Hello, my brothers and sisters in law enforcement. Lieutenant Joe here for the Blue Heart webcast. We cover a lot of things on this show. I try and talk about training and current events. Well, recently, it came to my attention we lost another officer, which is something I guess we could say every single day in the line of duty, whether it's someone who is gunned down by a depraved killer, killed in the line of duty in a traffic accident. It reminded me that through the course of my career, when I was brand new as a cop, and all of a sudden they give you a gun, a badge, bulletproof vest, they put you out in the car, and you kind of understand at that moment that, hey, this is pretty serious. This work that we're doing is pretty serious, and you could get killed doing this job. We have a memorial in Washington with the names of hundreds of our brothers and sisters who have made the ultimate sacrifice for law enforcement. And I got to thinking about that. I knew officers that died along the way. And I wanted to do some kind of a tribute to these officers, because the reality that came to me is this. Throughout my career, at any moment, any day, any shift I went in, search warrant, an arrest, a car stop, sent to a domestic violence, I knew and I was aware of the fact that I could get killed on those calls. We saw it happen every day of my entire career. Cops have always been killed doing our jobs. And I made it through my career. And I was very grateful that I did, but I knew people who didn't. And it was very difficult for them and their families. And I know our families live with this reality as well. So I wanted to write something. I write for thebluemagazine.com. I write for them for a long time, and I usually write about criminal investigation and things that go on. But I wrote this article because I think it puts it all into perspective. So if you're a newer officer, you might still be very well aware of that fact that, hey, I'm putting on a gun, I'm going out into the world, I could get hurt, I could get killed. Your family is very aware of it, even if they don't say anything. And then as time goes on through your career, you kind of get used to that idea, right? You carry a gun every day. It becomes part of what you do. Off duty, you carry a gun. Your civilian friends don't carry guns, but you do. Why? Because in case something happens, you may have to react. And it's in those moments that you may end up making the ultimate sacrifice. So while I don't like to read as part of the program, I am going to read the article because it conveys what I feel. And I think it's important for all of us, whether you're a new officer, mid-career, or at the end of your career, that we remember these kind of things. So it'll be published in The Blue Magazine. I can also send you a copy if you want a copy of it, put up in your department or something, because I think it speaks to all the officers. Joe@pangarotraining.com. I'd say you reach me, hey, Joe, send me an article, and I'll send you the article. A career in law enforcement is not a simple job, is not a role you clock into and out of, nor is it a profession you can fully set aside when the shift ends. It is a life commitment, one that shapes how you see the world, how you move through it, and how your family lives it alongside of you. For those who have worn the badge a long enough time, this truth becomes part of your identity. Serving your community means accepting risks that most people never have to consider. And doing so, we do it with integrity, purpose, and a willingness to sacrifice for something bigger than ourselves. Every officer remembers the early days, the academy, the first patrol shifts, the first hot call, the first time the radio tone changed and your heart rate jumped. In those early years, the reality that you might not come home is sharp and unmistakable. You feel it in your chest when you kiss your family goodbye. You feel it when you strap on your vest. You feel it when you roll up to a scene that could go sideways in a heartbeat. That awareness is part of what shapes you into a professional. It sharpens your senses, focuses your training, and reminds you of why this work matters. But as the years pass, something else happens. The danger doesn't go away. You simply learn to live with it. The possibility of not coming home becomes a quiet companion, one that blends into the background of your daily routine. You don't think about it every moment anymore. Because if you did, you probably would have a hard time functioning, thinking this might be the day. You learn to compartmentalize, to carry the weight without letting it crush you. Your family learns to do the same. They adjust to the late nights, the missed holidays, the sudden changes in plans, the phone calls that come at all odd hours. They learn to read your face when you walk through the door, to sense that something happened on a shift that you're really not ready to talk about right now. This is the unspoken reality of our profession. The commitment is not yours alone. Your family serves with you. They carry the same uncertainty, the same fear, the same hope that you will walk back through the door at the end of every tour. They live with the knowledge that your oath to protect and serve comes with risks that most families never have to face. And then there are the moments that bring that reality into very sharp focus. The radio call announcing an officer down. The procession of patrol cars with lights on but silent sirens. The folded flag, the bagpipes, the final radio calls that echo through every officer's heart. When we lose one of our own, it shakes us in a way that words rarely capture properly. It reminds us that the danger we carry quietly is not theoretical, it is real. It is permanent, and it is part of the price of the service we provide. Yet even in those moments of grief, something else rises to the surface, something that defines the profession more than anything else. Solidarity, brotherhood, sisterhood, the unbreakable bond between people who understand what it means to run towards danger when others run away. When an officer falls, the entire profession feels it. We stand together, not out of obligation, but out of our shared experience and shared commitment. We honor the fallen, not because they died, but because of how they lived, serving their communities with courage, integrity, and a willingness to put others before themselves. This is what separates law enforcement from most other careers. The commitment is not just to a department or a municipality. It is to the very idea of public safety. It's to the belief that communities deserve to live without fear, that victims deserve justice, and that the vulnerable deserve protection. It is a commitment rooted in service, not self-interest. And it is a commitment that demands something profound: the willingness to risk everything for people you may never meet, you may never know, and may never receive thanks from. But this article is not about dwelling on danger. It's about acknowledging the strength it takes to live with that reality and still show up every day. It's about recognizing the integrity required to do the job the right way, shift after shift, year after year. It's about honoring the officers who continue to serve despite the scrutiny, the criticism, the political noise, and the constant pressure that comes with wearing the badge in today's world. Completing a career in law enforcement is an achievement that few outside the profession truly understand. It means you face the worst moments of people's lives and you help them through it. It means you stood between good people and those who would do them harm. It means you made decisions in seconds that others will analyze for years. It means you carried the weight of responsibility that comes with authority, and you did so with honor. To every officer still serving, your commitment matters. Your sacrifice, seen and unseen, matters. The long nights, the missed family moments, the emotional toll, the physical wear, the constant vigilance, the quiet courage you carry into every shift, all of it matters. You are part of a tradition of service that stretches back generations, built on the belief that protecting others is a calling worth answering. And to the families who stand beside you, your strength is part of that tradition. Your support makes the work possible. Your resilience is woven into every officer's career. Law enforcement is not a perfect profession, because it's made up of human beings, but it is a noble one. It demands integrity, courage, humility, and sacrifice. It asks much of those who choose it and even more of those who love them. Yet despite the risks, despite the challenges, despite the weight of the responsibility, officers continue to serve. Not because it is easy, but because it is right. That is the true measure of a life committed to this work, and it deserves respect. Every officer knows the truth we rarely say out loud. Every shift is a commitment to something bigger than ourselves. We know serving that there's risks that we carry, and we carry that weight with integrity. To my brothers and sisters in blue, your courage matters, your service matters, and your sacrifice is never forgotten. And to the heroes who didn't make it home, the men and women who gave everything in the line of duty, we honor you. Your names, your service, and your courage live on in every officer who continues to stand the line. We carry your memory and pride, and we serve in a way that reflects the legacy you left behind. You are not forgotten. And as I write this piece, I'm reminded that because of the reality of the work that we do every day, there are some of you who will read this and who will hear this, who will make the ultimate sacrifice in the course of their career in the days and months ahead. It is a sobering thought, but only reinforces the truth of who our officers are. So God bless you, my brothers and sisters. Serve with pride and be safe. Now that's my article, and I tried to put my heart into it because as an officer that served and then retired, and I have seen officers who lost their lives in the course of their duties. And I saw what it did to their families, and I see it every day on the news. We see it in newspapers. We see this constant reality reflected in what we do, but we don't stop. We still do the job. We carry on. And I want to thank all of you who are out there today doing the job, and all of you who are going to do the job after you're done, and the men and women who'll do it after that, with a commitment to protect our communities and to make our world a better place. So my brothers and sisters, this is a tribute to everyone who's ever put on the badge, no matter what capacity. Your work, your life, your career matters. And thank you. This is Lieutenant Joe for the Blue Heart Webcast. Have a great day, everybody.